think I seriously took leave of my senses.
I've got some news for you about the Galileo.
I think that most people meet me would just think I'm just a pretty average guy until they go, downstairs into the man cave. I have about 1,200 plus items.
I came downstairs and I'm like, oh, it's better than sex.
In the world of movie memorabilia, there are fans, and then there are fan addicts.
We could have collected art. We could have collected coins. We happen to have spaceships.
My name is Adam, and I'm a collector of Star Trek, mostly the miniatures and the spaceships. I became known as the guy who bought the spaceships. I became known as the guy who fixed the spaceships. They're fabulous pieces of art that aren't being used anymore.
Adam has a passion. He prizes his collection.
No, it could be gambling, it could be drinking. It's just Star Trek.
My dad, I think, I'm trying to think how to rephrase that without using the word obsessed.
I was young, and I watched Star Trek first run, first days on NBC. This was the space age. This was the space race. I was the guy who wanted to be the astronaut. So as a 10-year-old, this was just fabulous.
Launch is in 40 minutes.
When I was little, I used to go into his bedroom closet, and he had hundreds of kind of plastic models, lots of props from the show.
Evan understands what my interest is to the point where he would support it.
It was that point where I kind of realized, this is a real passion for him, and to be honest, I hope to be able to send him to space at some point.
I'm not sure that's like good or a threat. I'm just trying to think about what that actually means.
As a present.
One time we were sitting in this diner eating pancakes, and we were talking about space, and he was telling me how he remembers, watching the moon landing as a child, and we were talking about the space program then.
I was about 13, watching it on the black and white TV in the den. Absolutely surreal that you could be watching something from the moon.
His eyes just lit up when he talked about it.
It started with a few models from Christie's, and it has grown to many models across many rooms of our house.
My day job is not collecting models. I work as a management consultant, mostly to the big banks and big firms on Wall Street. In 2006, the studio put a big auction of items up at Christie's. And as you just walked into the big Christie's rotunda was a model of the Enterprise. And it was like a chick imprinting on a mother. I was going to have one of those if it killed me. And that was just the beginning, literally from seeing it.
He came home and he says, guess what? I bought a few Star Trek models. I said, how much did you spend? He said, well, think of it as a Lexus.
I have Spock's jetpack from the first movie, Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I won a number of lots at Christie's, sometimes partial ships, sometimes full ships, but most of them were thrown in the box and were messes. Now remind me, what came originally from Christie's, from the Generations, and what did you add?
I'm going to call
It was a builder of models.
I was one of the model makers at ILM.
He built this Enterprise. This is the Enterprise E from Star Trek First Contact. So let's take a look at your other work here, Deep Space Nine. This is a screen use model.
These models were never meant to last. They're only designed for one thing, then they become dumpster fodder. They need to be cared for. It's just like an antique car.
Here we see what a jellyfish looks like when it's not yet fixed up. So it's cracked. This is kind of standard, right? This is the bottom of the jellyfish. And this is the first episode of Star Trek Next Generation. Now, this came out of the ground. The big question is why? Why invest this time and why invest this energy? What I found after the Christie's auction, imprinting on these models, they're a special and unique art form. And the fact that they need the energy and restoration is just part of the process, and frankly, it makes you want to appreciate it more. What do I have? So in the garage, we said dry dock, and Deep Space Nine, and occasionally a car, because we kind of like to park indoors. This is the Phoenix from Star Trek First Contact. In a Star Trek First Contact, the bad guys, the Borg, from the Borg station, go back in time to try to prevent the launch of the first warp ship. And the movie is all about, we have to launch the ship, we have to stop the Borg, we have to launch the ship. This is the ship. The Phoenix was, again, one of the very, very last practical models. This is a Borg alcove. It's a way for wives to get recharged, to come out happy about Star Trek.
I am definitely a Star Trek enabler, because it's very hard to say no to Adam.
They had 2 episodes of Tribbles, one in the 60s and one in the 90s.
I don't care if it takes every man we've got. I want them off the ship.
Aye, they're into the machinery, all right.
This is a Klingon weapon from the movie. This is the bad orb, it's black. The good orbs are white.
It was just one of these very weird circumstances. Had I not gone to the Christie's preview, I'd have 4 more rooms to go watch television in. The original Star Trek, 1966 to 1969, had 2 ships in it. It had the Enterprise and it had a shuttle Galileo.
The big missing, no one knows where it is, spaceship was Galileo. So it's the single most important piece in the wild from Star Trek. In 2012, rumblings began that someone who owns it might put it up for auction.
I was going to have it if it killed me.
Coming up.
The metal was bad, the wood was worse, the fiberglass was gone, and the painted plates off. I think I seriously took leave of my senses.
And later on FanAddicts.
I came downstairs and I'm like,
Right now, for a limited time, we're cooking up our tender blue ribbon baby back ribs every single night. Plus, enjoy honey barbecue riblets, country-style ribs, and more. It's baby back ribs every night, only at Ryan's, Hometown Buffet, and Old Country Buffet. Made for family.
Are you a woman with chronic feminine discomfort down there? Stop feeling embarrassed. You are not alone. 14 million menopausal women suffer with chronic feminine discomfort down there. Pain, itching, redness, and burning. As women mature, natural hormonal changes can cause chronic feminine discomfort. Now there's Neogen, the first hormone-free cream designed to help soothe and calm even the most sensitive areas. Neogen's blend of naturally balanced proteins help restore a woman's comfort and well-being. Women who have tried Neogen say it's life-changing. Start enjoying life again naturally. Call or go online now to experience the soothing comfort of Neogen, risk-free. Developed in Switzerland, Neogen provides real relief from chronic feminine discomfort. Now for a limited time, you can try Neogen risk-free. Find the new you at neogencream.com. Call or go online now.
The baby's in there?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Some things are hard for kids to digest. Rice Krispies are easy because they're made of rice, which is gentle on tummies. It's simple as...
Crackle Pop Rice Krispies.
If you suffer from both chronic gout and heart disease, local doctors need your help with a research study testing an investigational medication. This research study needs men at least 50 and postmenopausal women at least 55 who suffer chronic gout and have experienced a heart attack, hospitalized unstable angina, stroke, or complications due to diabetes. If you have chronic gout and a history of heart disease, call 1-855-576-4688 or log on to goutstudynow.com to learn more.
Can't get to sleep? Can't stay asleep? Clinically proven Unisom helps you fall asleep faster and stay asleep so you wake rested. Unisom, fall asleep faster, sleep longer. And to melt away your restless nights, try fast-dissolving Unisom Quick Melts.
The fastest selling cane on national television is the cane that stands alone. The Hurricane.
I love it. When I go shopping, I can let it balance while I get stuff off the shelf. When I reach down, my cane is right there where I left it.
The Hurricane is the all-terrain cane. Sand, gravel, snow, the Hurricane keeps you on the go.
It gives me more stability.
The Hurricane goes everywhere you go, and when you need it, it's out in seconds. And the proprietary pivot base gives you more stability at any angle.
A lot of people stop and ask, oh my gosh, where do you get a cane like that?
Right now on national TV, we're offering our best deal ever. Get the full Hurricane standalone package for an historic price. Now with free shipping. Just go to www.hurricane.com and enter the promo code to unlock our best value. www.hurricane.com.
Left Twix, cookie, flowed with smooth caramel and bathed in chocolate. Unlike Right Twix, a bar made by common plagiarists. Twix, try both, pick a side.
The notorious Al Capone died long ago, but the family legacy...
Dominic! Are you trying to get shot?
...lives on.
Why can't I have the envelope?
In infamy.
You like it.
This November.
Why would he be afraid of his mother? Oh, Jesus.
Family values.
He has one mother. You, he could replace 1,000,000 times.
Get whacked.
Let's forget about it.
The Capones, Saturday, November 9th on Reels.
The original Star Trek had a shuttle Galileo.
Enterprise, this is Galileo.
Galileo was last seen in the early 90s, 20 years ago, kind of disappeared. One of the serious questions was, where is this thing? It's the size of a bus. Rumblings began that someone who owns it might put it up for auction. Lo and behold, it came up at auction in June 2012. So I bought Galileo sight unseen. It was physically in Ohio. I did not have a chance to go there before bidding. Always a bad idea. The metal was bad, the wood was worse, the fiberglass was gone, and the paint had flaked. When I told Leslie what it was, I might have indicated it was a little smaller and a little better shaped than the actual truth was.
He came home and he says, guess what? It was a done deal.
Getting Leslie on board was a very, very hard task because there's no financial payoff. This is emotional. It got here on a giant flatbed truck from Ohio. I think I seriously took leave of my senses when buying this and then to restore it.
Great, Scotty, get us out of here.
This felt a little bit more like Scotty fixing the ship in an emergency, and Scott is saying,
If I push these impulse engines too hard in the condition they're in, they'll blow apart.
It was in terrible, terrible, terrible shape. And you really needed physical facilities to handle it. Master Shipwrights rebuilds and builds boats. They have an amazing shop, an amazing set of skills. We've commissioned them to rebuild and restore the Galileo.
He said it doesn't have to float, it doesn't have to fly. So I told him, bring it in.
This is great. So this goes on the back.
Yep.
Do you know how to attach it? You okay?
Well, yeah, they got a bunch of holes in there.
You got a bunch of holes to go attach? Okay. The research involved in restoring Galileo was extensive. First of all, we went and talked to the original builder and interviewed him. Secondly, while there's no as-built plans, fans have been drawing plans for 40 years. And we got every example and looked closely at what was right and what was not so right. We have a team working very hard, and we still are finishing some of the metal. We have fairing and smoothing it down, fiberglassing.
Ken, get some of that on the top. See like in here?
Sanding the fiberglass, the basic paint job of the two-color or two-tone gray, and the lettering. Oh, look at that.
He's pretty well involved with it.
That's the shape.
Oh, where are your doohickeys for that?
Right over there in the box. Right now, we have the nacelles. This is the warp drive that runs the ship.
Hope they fit.
Here we go. I think you got it. It's the right size.
All right, good.
We got it. This hatch was different in every show. One of the fans who was following the project generously offered to build the box, and we've installed it for them. It's a level of commitment on the Star Trek community that a fan, someone I've never met in person, would over the internet decide that they should spend their time and effort to build a lighted box so that it could look like it did on the screen.
And I will do whatever logically needs to be done.
The most famous episode with Galileo is entitled The Galileo 7. And the 7 is the number of people on this ship who were trapped in a life-or-death situation. The episode is a real examination for the first time of Spock and how he gets past his logic at times to go make a decision in a crisis situation.
My dad certainly has some of the qualities of Spock.
Live long and prosper, Galileo. Galileo is far too big for me to handle. I don't have the facilities.
The best part about Galileo, candidly, is that it's too big to come home. So it was always the plan to donate it.
I sent out 12 different proposals to all of the air and space type facilities in the United States. A significant number of places expressed great interest, but my dream place would be associated with the space program. Where it would go is very uncertain. Well, as we thought about it, NASA, the space program, it's a fabulous location. Hello?
Hi, Adam?
Oh, Paul. Oh, hold on one second. Leslie's right here. We're actually at the Galileo site. What's going on?
I've got some news for you about the Galileo.
News?
I've been discussing your proposal with our president as well as our committee. I just want to let you know it's a go.
Woo! We did it. Excellent. So isn't Evan due about now? How are we doing?
Here he is.
You made it.
Dad says he's got news, but he's waiting for you. So let's hear it. What's the big deal?
You know Galileo, we've been fixing it now for months. We haven't reached an agreement. It's going to Space Center Houston, NASA's Visitor Center. Best possible place, home of the manned space program.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Yeah. Wow.
Thank you, guys.
You did it.
Let's go celebrate.
Let's go celebrate. We're finally here to Houston to see Galileo in his new home. So it's been several months, and we're finally here to see Galileo in his new home.
Please join me in welcoming to the stage the man behind the restoration of Galileo, Adam. The best thing we heard was from a gentleman who drove 6 hours to attend. He said, this was the closest I will ever get to being on the set of the original Star Trek show.
I think that this means the world to him.
At 10 years old, I would have had no comprehension that I'd ever be involved in the space program, or that I'd be involved in this TV show Star Trek, or that I'd have the opportunity to contribute to both.
Well, we drove 5 hours to get here to see this, and we're both Star Trek fans, and we're so excited.
I can't believe that about 750,000 people a year are going to come here to see the Galileo.
Of all the gifts that I've ever been given by Star Trek fans, the greatest gift is the one that Adam and his wife Leslie have given all of us. That we have this reminder of how the inspiration of science fiction to pursue our goals and our dreams and our visions of the future can come true.
My dad always told me he wanted to be an astronaut, but, you know, unfortunately, dreams don't always come true. But in this case, he's gotten, I think, as close as he can by donating to Galileo, and he's really made an impression on space travel and space exploration in our time, and I'm really proud of him.
So I know you didn't start as a big Star Trek fan.
Well, it was part of the package, and I love you, and it's been an amazing adventure and a lot of fun.
But I'm very happy you came along for the ride.
My dad kind of giving this project that he worked so hard on to the public. He's honoring that quote that the needs of the many
outweigh the needs of the few. Or the one.
Coming up on FanAddicts.
When you find that piece that you don't have, it's better than sex.
Hi, Mom.
How was school today?
Good. Thank you.
We make our cookies the way only Keebler Elves can, with a little something extra. And now introducing Keebler Simply Made cookies, made with the same ingredients you find in your kitchen. They're simply scrumptious and oh so uncommonly good.
Megan loves coffee, but she doesn't know that coffee has acid, which breaks down tooth enamel. Thankfully, she uses ACT Restoring Mouthwash with fluoride and calcium. It does more than freshen breath. It rebuilds tooth enamel, making your teeth 2 times stronger. ACT. Smile strong.
Looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. I need some hot stuff, baby, tonight. I want some hot stuff, baby, this evening. Gotta have some hot stuff, gotta have some love tonight. I need hot stuff.
Get your Hot Stuff Silicone Go Pop Compacts at GetHotStuff.com. Collect all 6. Only $10.99. Must be 18 to order.
If an emergency happened right now, you can have help at the push of a button with Medical Alert.
Remember when I took that fall, Mary?
Oh, yes, that was terrible.
Yes, it was.
Help!
And I thought, what if you hadn't been there? I ordered my Medical Alert the next day.
I can't describe how safe I feel now with my Medical Alert. You didn't know I was wearing it, did you?
Medical Alert is easy to install, waterproof, and covers you inside your home and out.
It helps me feel safe from fires, break-ins.
And of course, a Medical Alert. And if you don't have a home phone, don't worry. They have that covered.
There's always help at the push of a button. Don't wait till you need it.
Get Medical Alert for less than $1 a day. There are no long-term contracts. Order now and get your second button free. Call for your free brochure.
Call 1-800-370-1064 or go to MedicalAlert.com. That's 1-800-370-1064.
If you suffer from both chronic gout and heart disease, local doctors need your help with a research study testing an investigational medication. This research study needs men at least 50 and postmenopausal women at least 55 who suffer chronic gout and have experienced a heart attack, hospitalized unstable angina, stroke, or complications due to diabetes. If you have chronic gout and a history of heart disease, call 1-855-576-4688 or log on to goutstudynow.com to learn more.
Oh, steer clear of Kristen. She can't control herself around chocolate. She'll devour you.
Really? Yeah, thanks for introducing us.
Anything for a friend.
Ooh, strong grip. Ow!
Track a serial killer in the frozen ground.
Yeah. What just happened? There's been another murder.
Nicolas Cage stars as an Alaskan state trooper tracking an obsessed murderer, played by John Cusack in this ripped-from-the-headlines thriller.
I have testimony from a witness who's a prostitute that refused a polygraph. It's a dead end.
This guy did it, and they let him get away with it.
Watch The Frozen Ground while it's still in theaters, on pay-per-view and video on demand.
I'm Mark. I've been married a little over 20 years to my wife, Kim. I have a son and a daughter, Kyle and Sarah, 4 cats, 2 dogs. Set. I probably come off as a pretty normal guy. I get up, go to work every day. That's what Disposal can I help you? I work for the Waste Management Trash Company. What's your last name on that account? So I like the company I work for. I love my house. I think that most people meet me would just think I'm just a pretty average guy until they go, downstairs into the man cave. I've been collecting about 20 years. I have about 1,200 plus items. I wouldn't say that I'm obsessive or a hoarder. I think of myself more as just a collector. My son's not that interested in it yet. I hope that he will someday.
I've always been more Star Wars side.
Truth is, nobody really wants to come down here. I collect almost anything Star Trek. Posters, comic books, ships, replicas. I started trying to get every one of everything. Someone that collects stuff like this is probably considered a nerd. And I'm the nerd that collects the stuff even beyond the normal collector. My stepmom asked me what I wanted for Christmas one year, and I had seen these Mego figures, and I said, I want those, and she got me like the first 5, and then I thought, these are really cool, because I got one and never stopped. For example, eBay, I would go in there looking for a certain figure with a certain color of accessories, and along the way, I would go, oh, I don't have one of those. When you find that piece that you don't have, it's better than sex. In the length of time I've collected, I know people that have smoked more and drank more money away than what I have here. Not that I'd say I haven't drank some myself, but not enough to pay for this. Starfleet Command is a club.
A group of us came down tonight to share and enjoy Mark's collection.
Oh my goodness.
They can't really grasp how big it is until they see it.
I came downstairs and I looked to the left, I looked to the right, and I'm like,
Died and gone to Star Trek heaven.
This is a tricorder scanner.
Wow. Oh my God.
Wow. Look at that.
The original prop would be ideal. Of course, popular ones bring quite a bit of money, so I try to recreate it as best I can.
This is cool.
That is made out of a 2x4. A machined aluminum. It's made of a video game controller.
Got some duplicates there. Are there differences?
That's a packaging variation. The term used now was variant collector. She's got two left hands. What most people would find is just a mistake. Now, I consider that a rare find. I have a Lore body with a Data head on it. Lore smiles and Data does not. It's a mistake where they put the Data head on the Lore body. Someone says to me, I have Thomas Riker. I go, well, I have 5 of them. Which one are you talking about? When I was 5, I lost my mom. My mom and dad were separated. I hadn't seen a lot of my dad. He was always working in the garage on Saturdays, and of course, I'd watch TV. Star Trek would come on. And there was Kirk.
Kirk here.
Kirk had it together. And no matter what bad thing happened, he would figure out a way that he was going to get out of this mess. I want to be like that. That's cool. But the most valuable thing in my collection would probably be the Master Replicas Enterprise. It is the only thing I actually put on a credit card to buy. I think they originally sold for about $1,000, and that was a big leap for me. Star Trek is based on a utopia. A philosophy that Gene Roddenberry had. People would grow to the point where they didn't need money. There's this hope for this better future. My ultimate goal with the collection, I would probably look to donating it to Children's Museum or something.
Did you make this?
Yeah, built it out there in the garage.
Wow.
This is my Kirk command chair, obviously the most recognized piece of any Star Trek history. We've been asked to bring it to multiple charity fundraisers.
Tonight, Mark takes the Captain Kirk chair to a local theater to raise money for charity.
You sit in the chair, it's a $5 donation, so we came out here today to try it. The money's going to go to the Autism Research Institute. My daughter's autistic. Autism right now is a personal thing for me because of my daughter. Let me ask you a question. Who loves you?
No.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Yes.
Right now.
I really do love you, don't you know that?
Yep.
I kid her all the time. I just remember when she was little and the doctor diagnosed her like in 30 seconds. And that 30 seconds changes your life. And I would hope that there comes a day that no parent has to hear that.
Thank you very much.
I always admired Kirk. He would rush right in and just accomplish these crazy things, you know, but he believed he could do it. And so that led me to do things like this, to boldly go and to discover a better future.
Everyone wants to be the captain. I'd probably relate better to Spock. Live long and prosper.